CXO in residence.
Better recognize.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 47 of 2024. I'm Chris Louie, and still on a sugar high from eating all the kids' Halloween candy. With me, I have my co-host, Uncle Barbecue, who just got back from snow country. How is the view from Banff?
So it was pretty insane. So I flew into Calgary, and then it's, I think, like a hour and a half drive into Banff, which is like I guess their national or state park, and there was really no snow there. Did a presentation, spent the night, and then I took Thursday and Friday off with my wife, and we drove up from there to Lake Louise, and so that's a little bit higher higher elevation.
Yeah.
And yeah, what's wild is that we got there and it was like it dumped snow, but it was before the lake actually froze over, so you just had like this wild color, right? There's like this really blue with the greens of the trees and the snow and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was pretty dope, man. I'm gonna say we're already planning on our next trip back over there.
That's pretty cool.
Nice. That should be fun.
Yeah, and it was like right in the middle, like they called it shoulder season, which is like in between like the high season and then when people start coming in for snowboarding and all that good stuff. So it wasn't terribly expensive, and it really wasn't busy. I think Friday night there was actually people in the restaurant, but other than that, it was like just me and my wife running around the hotel with like no one around us. It was pretty cool.
Did you see a bunch of snow up there, you say?
Yeah, it dumped probably about a foot of snow when we got there. And so again, like what was interesting is we went to like this, we were walking around downtown Banff, which is, the actual city that's, adjacent to it, about 60 minutes away. And we went into this like art gallery, and there's this dude, and he's like, he has all these pictures, and he's like, had this amazing shot of Lake Louise that's not frozen, still blue, with a bunch of snow. And it was kind of early morning, and the sky was lit. And he said he's been chasing this photo for like 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Because it's kind of hard to find it. And I was like, oh, yeah, we just saw that yesterday. Like, how about that?
Once in
but
a 6
he also wanted...
You lucky dog.
He wanted $6,000 for that photo, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Good for him. $1,000 for
But,
every year he chased it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So he had this other one that was like huge. It's like printed on like aluminum or something like that. And I think it was like 108 inches diagonal, and it won like $21,000 for it. It's like, Jesus, man, I should just start taking photos and selling it.
You should. Get a good camera and then trek out there every day for the next 6 years, hoping to get that one shot.
Yeah. But I will say that the one thing that kind of freaked me out is like, so just looking at you're literally in avalanche country, and like everything there is just like covered in snow, right? And then people are just like walking up the mountain. Like I looked at that, I'm like, that's just how I die. That's gonna be my obituary. Brian decided to go hiking in Lake Louise.
He farted a little too loud, created an earthquake, and then died in an avalanche.
Oh, dude, yeah, it looked wild, but yeah, we had a good time.
That'll be written on your tombstone.
Welcome to the sun.
Wow.
Now get to work.
And we have Glenn Medina, or should we call him Bad Influence Glenn, or BIG?
What? That's
Looks
not fair,
BIG.
Chris.
Looks like Alan's wife will not let you hang out with him anymore.
I don't think she listens to the podcast anyway, so we'll be okay. But Alan, next time, stick to just 2 drinks. I'm going to be serious right now.
You have to cut him off. Like, you gotta go to the couponing
early.
system again.
Real early. Well, you heard the voicemail, so
I have
you heard
them
it first.
I have them. Yeah, he was
Let's go make NFTs off of those. They were pretty good.
inebriated enough to not remember not to leave a permanent record of it.
That's right.
There's a permanent record of it in my voicemail.
Hi, Chris. I have a Zscaler issue. My SC named Michael doesn't like...
No guest this week, and we will be doing the same thing we did last year, and we will take the month of December off so we can take a rest from the podcast and spend time with our families for the upcoming Christmas holiday. Just like we did last year, we will re-release 2 pre-recorded episodes during the month of December, most likely on December 9th and December 23rd, so be sure to stay subscribed and you will get the latest episode when they are released. We will
Christmas
resume-
special. There you
Every year we
go.
do. Christmas special and a New Year special.
There you go.
We will resume as normal on January 6th, 2025.
Got me a fresh recruit here.
Combined, we have decades of information security experience in here, not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about one closing the loop story. A California teen gets what's coming to him. RDP as an attack vector. For our third topic, an alarming shift in the threat landscape. And close with Christmas talk. Closing the loop this week, we revisit a story we did a few years ago about the Bitfinex hacker Ilya Lichtenstein, who was arrested February 2022. You may remember he stole 120,000 Bitcoin from the crypto exchange Bitfinex and got caught buying Walmart gift cards with his wife, Heather Morgan. If you remember, Heather Morgan used some of that stolen money to finance a terrible rap career. Well, Ilya was just sentenced to 5 years in prison. At the time
Keep the
of
money?
Well, at the time of the theft, the Bitcoin was worth about $78 million, so a good payday all around, no matter how you cut it. But when the U.S. government seized the money, it was worth about $3.6 billion. So smart enough to steal all that Bitcoin, dumb enough to buy Walmart gift cards and have stuff shipped to your house.
Ouch.
So yeah, that's not really a punishment. That's more like just a little retirement plan. The slap on the wrist.
Well, 5 years, but he doesn't get the Bitcoin either. The U.S. the feds seized it.
Is it once from
Still,
the hood,
though, I mean-
always from the hood, always shopping at Walmart?
People of Walmart. Is that still a website?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
I'm sure it is. He just cannot resist those rollback specials.
Yes.
You know, all I think is going to happen, and the reason why I say like this is a retirement plan, he's going to get out in 5 years. He'll either write a book, or they'll make some sort of movie straight to Netflix, and he's going to get paid off the royalties. Like, yeah, he'll be fine.
Oh, that was a law that said,
$3.6 billion, guys. Come on. Who's not staring at this going, where is this money sitting right now? It's like just the interest alone on $3.6 billion should be enough to do something with it. My gosh.
It's sitting in the U.S. Treasury right now, Glenn. It's helping to pay off our national debt.
Yeah, like 1%, right?
This is good for about 2 days worth of interest on the national debt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, they got him. His wife, Heather Morgan, is supposed to be sentenced sometime this week, so maybe we'll do a follow-up, see if she gets the 5 years as well.
Maybe they'll give her like 7 years for really being bad at rapping.
Was
Yeah,
she
That's
even
like the actual
An
good?
violation.
enhancement. There's an
Yeah, that's what I was
enhancement
gonna ask.
on
Was
that
she-
one.
Was she even good at rapping? Probably not.
Terrible.
Like,
No, look,
you know
look
what?
her
You're
up.
getting 10 years for cultural appropriation. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'll link through to it in the show notes of the awful rap video she's made.
Oh God.
All right, for our first topic, a California teenager pled guilty to making hundreds of swatting calls and bomb threats. Between August 2022 and January 2024, Alan Fillion made more than 375 swatting calls. These included incidents where he claimed to have planted bombs or threatened to conduct mass shootings at targeted locations, including religious institutions, high schools, and colleges and universities. Swatting is the act of calling a police department or an emergency line and pretending that a dangerous situation is occurring so that the police send in the SWAT team to kick in a door. In addition to committing the swatting incidents, he also started swatting as a service using Telegram. So for a few $100s, you could send an armed SWAT team to your person of choice. 2 Twitch streamers got swatted live on air, and they ended up hiring a private detective to track down the scumbag, and this private detective collected enough information on the guy, handed it over to the FBI, and the rest is history.
I think probably the most eerie quote was like, when I SWAT someone, I usually get the cops to drag the family out. I thought that was kind of like, I just pictured Chris's house and his poor kids being, and then the rabbit.
And the cat.
Drag
The
that
rabbit,
ass.
the cat.
Rabbit
And,
and
yeah.
the cat. Yeah.
The raccoon in the backyard.
And the coyote. I thought I saw a little coyote or a fox. What was
Yeah,
that?
that one's new. Yeah, we got a coyote in the backyard now.
How awesome is that?
All I know is he went from like an edgy teenager to a full-blown cyber menace in like record time. And he did it all for TikTok flex. Like, it's such a dumb thing.
Yeah. Talked about that on the episode, that online clout can be a dangerous thing. Or people that go through that community called the calm, and they just radicalize each other and constantly one-up each other, and just makes the world a worse place.
So what is his punishment? Like, he gives up his computer for life until he's like 30? I mean,
Not sure. I mean, it should have something to do with that. He should be allowed to use a computer, serve some serious jail time. Like, some of these things they say, disrupted schools, disrupted college, and yeah, there's actual real world cost to that. Sending out a armed SWAT team to a location.
yeah. But think about it in this day and time, right? Like, if you have a phone, it's all smartphones now, right? So it's considered a computer. I mean, there's not much right now that you could do that doesn't interface with a computer in some way or some fashion.
There's one hacker. I don't remember which hack it was. There was one hacker. He got caught. They put him up in a hotel while he was awaiting trial, and he used like the Amazon Fire Stick that was plugged into the hotel TV to like hack into somebody. So it's like, yeah, literally anything can be a hacking tool.
Yeah.
How long do you think, like, if he would not have gotten caught and he was doing the swatting for a fee service, do you think he would have started like offering like a loyalty program for his repeat customers?
It's like a Subway punch card. Buy 5, get 1 free.
Yeah. Yeah, swat 3, get 1 free,
Yeah, the private investigator actually, it was interesting. The hook he used, the private investigator posed as like a disgruntled ex-husband, and it's like, I want to send a SWAT team to my ex-wife's house. So that's how he eventually got this guy on the hook. So this guy definitely had no conscience whatsoever, even knowing that during some of these swatting attacks, people could be seriously hurt or even killed.
What made you think you would never get caught doing this though? Like 300. Apparently, you got away with it 375 times, right?
Arrogance, just hubris. He just thought his OPSEC was so good he'd never get caught.
Yeah. Everyone gets caught. Even the guy that steals 78 million in Bitcoin gets caught.
Yeah. So those Walmart gift cards.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how like U.S. government's like against crypto, but like they're the ultimate hodl, and they're also going after people. Like at the same breath, they're like, this internet money's not real, but we're gonna prosecute and throw you in jail. You stole $78 million worth of fake internet money.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes it feels like every time they go in on this, it like dislegitimizes the whole concept of cryptocurrency, in my opinion.
Well, that might be changing soon, Brian. We might have somebody friendly at the SEC that's going to finally give us a framework to deal with.
And by framework, are you just saying no capital gains taxes?
No tax on crypto. That's what I'm waiting for.
Like, that's insane. That's an insane statement. Like, there's so much money in crypto right now.
Yeah. How could you not?
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I think the market cap alone for Bitcoin is almost $2 trillion. So that's like the equivalent of like maybe a Microsoft or one of those companies. I think it might be at close to 3, but huge companies, Alphabet, Netflix, Meta.
There was a football player that got paid in Bitcoin, right? I wonder how much he's worth now. Unless he spent it all on pizza.
Yeah, as long as you hold it. There's an episode, I forgot if it was like Property Brothers or something, and they said this was like maybe at least 5 years ago, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'll offer you 50,000 Bitcoin for your house," and then the guy's like, "No way, this is fake internet money." And then they said, "Well, if he had taken the 50K and held it to today, it'd be worth like billions of dollars or hundreds of millions."
What was it worth at 50K, 50,000 Bitcoins? Do you remember?
I think it was like 1.4 million or something, maybe.
Okay.
Then now it'd be like,
so it was already
million.
Like
they held it.
Yeah, so it was already at 30,000 or something like that, then, right? What you're saying?
No, it was like 200.
Okay.
Something like that. No, maybe
$200.
No, I'm doing the math wrong. Maybe it was like 20K. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a human
How
calculator.
are you guys bad at math? This is
I
weird.
was about to say.
I was thinking 30 because you said it was 50,000.
50,000
And it was like
Bitcoin.
1.5 million, right?
Yeah.
So 3 times 5 is 1.5.
I got $3 a share.
$3 a share?
Yeah, I'm not good at math though. Don't follow me for financial advice.
Yeah, it's okay. We should ask ChatGPT.
$30? That doesn't sound right. Maybe it was. Maybe it could be. It's possible. If this was 10 years ago, it'd be $30
Yeah.
a Bitcoin.
Yeah, $30.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Well, there was a guy that
Carry the zero.
traded a couple pizzas
Divide
for
by
like
pi.
100
10,000.
bitcoins too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza. That'd be worth like
Yeah.
$1 billion
Wait.
today.
Can we talk about your Cybertruck? Did you pay Bitcoin for it, Chris?
I did not pay
Or
Bitcoin.
Doge?
I did not use Doge. No, Tesla doesn't accept that anymore. They used to, but not anymore.
Aw.
Plus, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold until there's no tax on crypto, and then I can cash out tax free.
Are you gonna cash all of it in?
Assuming that you even have any crypto, right? You don't want to, allegedly, if you had it.
If I had it, yes.
If you had it.
All those crap coins you guys told me to go in on.
Hey, we're doing okay now, bud. It's the ish coin boom right now.
That is
Yeah,
true.
no kidding.
Rising tide, Brian. Rising tide.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, but this was a huge problem because I remember at least 2 people I follow on Twitch and YouTube. This actually happened to them. They were in the middle of a gaming stream, and then a police comes in or SWAT team kicks in the door, and while they're on stream, and they drag them off. Like that was like just the most hilarious thing to these swatting kids to try to get somebody arrested on stream. And I guess it's happened to 2 Twitch streamers. They said enough is enough. We have enough money. We're gonna put an end to this because it's a huge problem in the streaming community.
Well, the cops are on to them too now, right? I mean, they're not falling for it as much as they should.
I think they know the warning signs of it. Like they have to treat everything serious. They have to take it seriously. They can't blow it off. Like that'd be a huge problem if they said, "Oh, this is clearly fake," and then it actually ends up being real. So they still have to send people there. But I remember specifically for one of the streamers that I follow, the person swatting called in to the local PD and says, my name is Mr. Streamer. I just killed my wife, and I have a knife. I'm about to kill my children unless you send someone here to come and stop me." Like that was the setup. That was how they got the SWAT team going. So the SWAT team went out there, observed the house, saw somebody turn on the lights, go to the bathroom, turn off the lights, and like, well, if this person was holding his kids hostage, that's not normal behavior of a hostage situation. There are like other things too, like someone went down to the kitchen and grabbed a snack, and like, yeah, that doesn't add up. So they already knew something was a little bit off, and then from there they figured it out. It was a hoax.
Unless your name is Jeffrey Dahmer, then making a sandwich with some butt meat is actually okay.
Ew, gross.
The most
How do you
tenderest
say that
part of
guy's
the
last
human.
name?
Dahmer?
Yeah. No, Fillion. Is that how you say his name?
Fillion. Yeah.
Fillion, yeah. He was out there treating SWAT teams like his own personal DoorDash. I mean, I'm into it, but it was, when you say it like that, and he's like placing a phone call, and I killed my wife, and all these, that's just terrible, terrible stuff. Thank God that the SWAT team cased the joint instead of just kicking the door in.
Right.
Where's his parents? Where's this guy's parents?
Yeah, see, based on how he turned out, they're probably not in the picture much, if at all.
Look at this guy. I mean, come on. I'll post a picture. This has to be him, right? Fillion.
I just hope they throw the book at this guy and give him the maximum.
Look at this guy.
That's a huge problem. Oh yeah, that's
this guy.
him. That's probably what you would expect it to look like.
Yeah, that's... How old was he?
Look at those locks. Wow.
know.
19, I believe.
19. Yeah,
It
that's
looks like he's built like a bag of mashed potatoes.
That's a kid that's never had parents that tell him, "Hey, shut the hell up, go sit in the corner," or "Here's your maybe they're the kind of parents that say, "Here's an iPad, go sit in the corner and watch TV."
Yeah.
Go watch Blue's Clues.
Get
Never been
radicalized
told
online.
no.
Never got beat in
Yeah.
his life.
Yeah. This is our future, guys. It's totally our future.
All right, well, hopefully the Department of Justice has something to say about this, and this guy gets I think at least 10 years. You get at least 10 years for all the problems he caused.
Yeah. Then he's really going to know what it's like to be swatted in the ass.
Did he start this when he was underage? Or no?
It might have been, because it said for about 2 years or a year and a half. Maybe he might have been 18 already.
My God.
Fire sale.
Yeah, try him as
Take him out to the train station, boys.
Yep.
Still had one.
For our second topic,
Terrible.
a foreign threat actor is conducting a new spear phishing campaign using a novel technique. Microsoft developed the Remote Desktop Protocol, or RDP, to allow users to connect remotely to another computer. To simplify this process, you can save an RDP configuration file and send it to someone with pre-filled credentials and configuration settings such as remotely mapping USB devices, network drives, and file shares. Now the attack works like this. A threat actor sends a victim an email with an attached RDP configuration file and asks the victim to run the RDP file to connect to a remote machine. And you could set up any kind of pretext around this. Let's say your computer's infected, you need to download this update, or you're an ESET subscriber, download the latest update from the secure FTP server, whatever lure you want. The RDP configuration file has flags set to share the hard drive of the local machine and all USB and network attached devices. Once the victim connects to the remote machine, the attackers can then install malware on the user's local machine to achieve persistence and exfiltrate files.
I think at this time, we just educate everyone. If you get an email that says urgent collaboration, then just know that's a threat actor trying to slide into your DMs. Just delete that right away. Don't click on it. Be smart, people.
This won't work on Mac, right? So Mac is excluded from this.
Mac has RDP.
But you know what?
The Mac that has no native RDP client, though. So unless you specifically have the RDP client installed, it won't work on Mac.
That's right. So
You can do VNC, though.
UVNC, yeah. And then,
but
yeah,
you'd
all
have to
Windows
have that
machines.
turned on, though. You'd have to turn that on, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. RDP stands for really dumb protocol unless you secure it. And I don't think there's any securing it.
It's very hard to secure. Like having open RDP on the internet, really, really bad idea. Putting it behind a VPN, still a bad idea.
How does that work with AVD, though, right? AVD's got open RDP sessions, too.
Welcome to the suck. Now get to work.
Because you can RDP into, your PC with a URL with a URL to go direct into it.
Yeah, that is an open thing, but you don't have to have a client or anything, right? You just plug in this AVD URL.
Yeah.
Wasn't the email from trustidentity@hacker.gov? What the hell?
Multi-factor authentication. If they have mandatory MFA, that'd probably be one step better than just putting it out there on the open internet.
Yeah.
I'm sure AVD is tied into Entra.
Yeah. I'm sure this is very controversial, but I think anytime you have someone that fails like Fish Me training, then the consequence should be a tattoo on their forehead that says "Do not click." I think that would teach them real quick.
Put it on their finger, not on their forehead, on their finger. So every time they click, they can see that tattoo sticking on their finger. So
Actually, what would that be? What would that be if it was Zetro? So let's do not click backwards.
Zetro. So every time they look in the mirror, you mean they see "Do not click."
Yeah.
Maybe not a permanent tattoo, but one of those like airbrush tattoos that last like a week. Then this is if you've passed, then you can have it removed.
Actually, do not click backwards would be click ton OD. So it works. Rest in peace, Zetro.
Rest in peace. Yeah, pretty novel technique though. I mean, I don't think it's new, but it's one of those, if it looks stupid but it works, it's not stupid, because people are obviously clicking on these things and then their local drive gets mapped to the target machine. And the target machine can install scripts or run scripts, exfiltrate data. And when the user's just confused about what to do on that machine, then they just install like a script in their startup folder. Then that's all it takes.
I haven't messed with RDP in like 10 years, and I'm blown away. They can remotely map a USB drive or the destination local hard drive. Like, that's just insane to me. Like it was already bad to begin with, and all they did was add more features to it.
Yeah, that's been around for at least, I want to say at least 20 years or so, because I remember when I was a sysadmin and I had to transfer something from my computer to a remote computer, I just mapped the drive. Yeah.
Has it been that long since I played with Windows?
It's been
I
a
think
long
so.
time.
I mean, if you just use standard RDP, you wouldn't see it. You have to go into like options and you have to turn all these things on. Like I could remote print something, or I can remotely access a file share, then download that file to my local machine.
So, from the client perspective, I'm trying to figure out the USB. Is it on the target machine or the hacker? The USB drive?
The victim. So the victim machine. So if I have a USB hard drive plugged into my computer, the attacker's machine, the one I connect to, can see everything that's on my computer and everything attached to my computer.
All right. You're close to being 20 years. 2007 with Windows Vista. RIP. That's when it came out.
I remember XP had it. So I'm surprised that it was Vista. I think
XP
Vista
and Server 2008.
Yeah, so Vista had it by default. I remember for XP, I think it was a service pack you had to install. Might have been SP3. Do not miss all those service packs.
I just remember patching and building
feature.
computers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool feature. It's getting used maliciously. That's the problem. So
yeah, just like everything, it's a really helpful tool. Like without RDP, it'd be impossible to have like virtualization. Like you just have console access basically. But now you can RDP into these machines, and I didn't have to physically drive into the office anymore if I need to configure something. So it's really important, but ripe for abuse. So you got to secure it. You offer RDP through a browser, Glenn?
we do. Just like you guys do as well, right? But you guys serve it through guacamole. I think that's the subtle difference.
Yeah. You guys have homegrown?
Don't be airing out dirty laundry, buddy. You know it's guac on the other end of yours.
It's not guac.
It's guacatoni.
It's
Avocado.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah.
For our third topic, the cybersecurity agencies of the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance issued a warning that hackers were increasingly exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to access their targets' networks. 10 out of the top 15, so 2/3 of exploited vulnerabilities for the year 2023 were considered previously unknown and a zero-day exploit. The previous 2 years saw old and unpatched or so-called end-day vulnerabilities being used. It used to be things like Log4j or the Fortinet vulnerability of the day, but now it's getting increasingly harder to defend against these attacks since the vendors do not even know about the vulnerabilities. Really no surprise here, Citrix's Citrix Bleed in their NetScaler networking appliance was the top exploited vulnerability for 2023.
Well, between Citrix, Cisco, Fortinet, Palo Alto, and then MoveIt are probably the biggest ones that I can think of, right?
Yep.
Lights out, toe tagger.
And I think the MoveIt was recently somewhere, right? Where it was, I mean, like to this day, like there was a huge DLP event that just happened with that. Am I thinking of a different vulnerability?
It was either MoveIt or Fortress, one of those file transfer appliances, those FTAs. It just seems like every year one of these file transfer appliances gets popped, and that's one of the top exploited vulnerabilities.
Next time I hear someone say secure by design, I'm going to say disaster by default. I think that's really what you guys are doing.
It's a little more accurate. Yeah, so of the top 15, so just reading, starting with number 1, Citrix, Cisco, Fortinet, Progress, so that's the MoveIt one, Atlassian, Apache, Barracuda, Zoho. So it's top exploited vulnerabilities. What do these all have in common? All internet-facing, typically network-connected appliances. Other than Atlassian, but why on earth would you put your Atlassian facing the internet and not behind something.
Then they built it. They built it as a SaaS service, though, right? It's just like access to Salesforce.
They did. It's just like Exchange. The Atlassian, so your Confluence and your Jira, you can host it yourself, or you can pay them for the SaaS service. Just like you'd have your own hosted Exchange, or you could pay for Office 365. So these are for the people that did not pay for the cloud service, hosted it themselves, put it out there on the open internet, and then they get popped.
Was that the struts that they got hit by? I think is what it was. No.
No, it was a Confluence. There was a bug in the Confluence code, which, like, if you subscribe to Confluence Cloud, it was patched, within seconds. But if you have your own Confluence you're hosting, you have to manually patch it.
That's what you get. So that's just like anything else, though, right? I mean, if you host it yourself, you run that risk unless you have a great patching service or routine, right? You got to have that methodology.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't try very hard. The one I did look at was the Move It one, and I used ChatGPT because I looked at Metasploit and trying to figure out like how complex are some of these to get done. And of course, like I have Metasploit free, so it's just on my local network. And so then I asked it to create a Python script to exploit it. I had to convince it a couple times here and there,
but
eventually it got there. It didn't. Yeah. It eventually got me there, and I thought, it's like it wasn't as complicated as you might believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But is anyone not like wondering like this stuff's 2 years old and still being unpatched, still not patched, and still being used? Like, how does anyone keep their job knowing that happened?
I mean, Log4j. Log4j is a CV from 2021, and it's still in the top 10.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, how do you continue to run that knowing that came up in an audit, right? And what's your response for not closing that audit item? Too busy?
It's blissfully ignorant. Don't run the audit, and then you won't get in trouble.
I guess not.
We're in a change freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't buy that one. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of smaller companies that just they're just so eager to get their product out the front door that security is not top of mind. It never is until they get breached, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's that butthole. Like I remember talking with I won't say even their vertical, but they're just like, we're just like whatever, right? On so and so street, had no money for it. And next thing you know, fast forward, I think maybe 10 years, they have a SOC with 70 people. And, they have a $50 million budget annually for security, and that's after the breach. But, again, just...
Yeah. I can see where, like, for instance, you're in the lab environment, you bring up a server. Like, I remember one time I was bringing up a server, and I hadn't finished updating it yet, and they ran a scan against it. And I'm like, yo, calm down. I just put this server up on the network, right? And then it's like, you're already scanning it. Like, give me a break. Give me a second here. But I can see the opposite too. Like, here I go. I don't touch my test server for quite some time, and guess what? It's not patched as well, right? So, and then 2 years later, you're getting breached because of a server you brought online to test a long time ago that hasn't been patched. So,
well, right. It's the dev environment, and so somebody puts a firewall in, and you only test from these IP addresses, and then some kook in the help desk removes that, opens it up to the world, and then boom. You're caught with your pants below your ankles.
Yeah.
15 minutes, Glenn. That's all you get. 15 minutes is how long it takes for an internet scan to show a brand new RDP endpoint on the internet.
Yeah.
Did I tell you like my University of Phoenix story about like my first day on the job?
I don't know which one. You have a lot of stories, Brian.
I'm sure you have a whole bunch. Yeah, it's either U.S. Airways or
he dropped an eye roll and took out USAirways.com.
Yeah.
No, this one, like I remember like really second guessing my move to basically it was University of Phoenix or Apollo Group, and like they were like having like this panic moment when they had found out that a help desk person dropped an any rule in, which he thought was for some branch school location in California, but it was an any rule across the entire every one of the firewalls, and so you had all these rules. and at the very end, it was an any rule. So like the network was wide open. It had been open for many, many months. And they were having like this panic moment of like,
check the logs.
If we remove it, number one, like how many applications are going to break because Dev would stand something up and it would just work, and so they wouldn't submit a firewall rule. And so like it was a cluster. I was like, oh my god. He's like, and then the other one is like, yeah, start checking logs. Like, do we actually have a bigger problem here than we thought? Which we didn't, thank God. But yeah,
been there. I've left a proxy open on the internet before, and that wasn't a good idea.
All this malicious traffic comes from Glenn's IP.
You were straight up, Chris. 15 minutes. 15 minutes, and they were using it. And an hour later, I realized, like, what the hell is all this traffic coming through? On this,
I didn't visit that website today.
Yeah, I was like looking at the logs, going, "Oh my gosh, what are people looking at this thing?" So,
residential proxy.
That's right.
I reckon if that University of Phoenix story happened today, Brian, in like 15 minutes, they'd be in. Just so many people scanning the open internet. It'd either be a bad guy getting in, or it's one of those companies like Shodan or Census that would discover this any rule.
Yeah. Or some really smart student, or really dumb.
Well, anyway, that's on the bell curve. The top or the bottom of the bell curve.
Always.
Well, that's one of the things we always preach. Like, you're not going to prevent a breach. You're always going to get hit by these zero-day vulnerabilities. So the most you can do is just limit the damage, detect, and respond. For our last topic, it will be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about when is it too early to decorate for Christmas. And I think I actually had this topic on right before the election, but then I said, well, the election's a little more timely. And the reason I put that question on in the beginning of November was because literally the day after Halloween, so November 1st, I remember walking into, I forget what store, some big box store like Lowe's or Home Depot, and Christmas music blaring, Christmas decorations everywhere. And it's like, Halloween just passed. It's a full 2 months before Christmas, and they're already playing Christmas music and selling all these decorations.
Did it get you in the mood though?
Yeah. Did it make you want to take out your Christmas sweaters, Chris?
Yeah. Were you like walking around the store, walking around the Christmas tree? Did it get you going or no?
The rule is I'm not allowed to wear the Christmas sweaters until the day after Thanksgiving.
No.
And then
I think there's a difference though.
Christmas.
You said you are not allowed because Grace does not allow it. But would you had she not allow it?
Well, actually, I have the turkey hat, so November is going to be the turkey hat month, and then after Thanksgiving, then it switches to Christmas sweater.
I think we lost Chris. Did I lose Chris?
No, I'm still here.
You lost him. I heard him.
Or did I lose you guys?
You lost me. I hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So we like to start to decorate the day after, not Thanksgiving, but yes, you guessed it. Halloween. I'm all about the Christmas time.
Really?
Yeah. I have those lights that you can actually they're always on. They're like LEDs. Yeah. And what's really interesting is I was trying to get it to do something like it's called WLED. It's like a poor man's version of whatever.
Like the Philips Hue.
And what's that?
Like the Philips Hue stuff.
Yeah, it's not even like Philips Hue. Like you buy it, you own track lighting, you program it, and I was trying to get like this one pattern going for Thanksgiving or for Halloween, and it wasn't working. And so I was like, perfect use for ChatGPT. And guess what ChatGPT did to me? It gave me a configuration that just hosed the entire thing. Like nothing worked at all. I was like,
default reset.
I had to do the factory default reset, and so then I was like, gosh darn it. And so then I went online and I was searching for like certain themes, and then I came across some dude that actually had his WLED exposed to the internet. Like, and there is no password or anything like that whatsoever.
Oh,
so
wow.
I just went through there.
Not even admin.
Yeah, I copied all of his presets, and I ended up getting a bunch of good ones that are on there. And then, anyways, then I gave him the big old middle finger to ChatGPT. Because
doesn't someone have a brother that works for an LED company? And you're running cheap stuff? What the heck, Brian?
What would he say?
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, like, number one, I had seen it online, and then two, I told someone about it, and then they created a business, and so he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I can come over here and hook you up. I'm like, all right, let's go. So
Yeah.
I had him install it.
It's called WLED.
Yeah, here, watch. I'll actually share. Like, the website's still up. He did put a pin on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here you go. So you can actually see this is this dude's house, and right now it's currently off. But I can come over here and turn on the Christmas lights. And boom, that's like. And then I come over here and hit peak, and then you can see here at the top of like what that kind of looks like. It's really faded.
Yeah.
As
And
I
it's got
say,
Halloween.
maybe that's a feature. Like maybe he just hosts this as a public service so people can get his code. But yeah, if you're gonna remotely control his lights, maybe not a feature.
Yeah, but see, check out all these cool like he's a Kansas City fan. So Kansas, which they are no longer undefeated. So we have no more undefeated teams in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Or you just be a jerk and turn it off in the middle of the night on them.
Who did they lose against? Yesterday, the other day. What team did
It
they
was
play?
yesterday. It was. We should know this. I just watched
Yeah.
it.
I'm not a KC fan, so.
Oh, it was the Eagles.
What? The Eagles beat them?
I think so. Yeah.
Shows you how much I'm not.
No, Buffalo Bills.
The
No,
Bills.
yeah.
There you go.
It was
The
the Bills,
Bills.
baby.
The Bills.
I did not have that on my 2024 bingo card that the Bills would defeat the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs.
Dude, well, number one, they're 9-2. I mean, they're not bad. And Josh Allen is just a freak of nature.
He is.
So-
He has having a very good year this year. All I know is the San Francisco 49ers lost another one game to one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
At the last 2 minutes, right? Like,
Yeah.
unbelievable. Could not get a stop in.
Yeah.
So,
It's amazing what you can do in 2 minutes, guys.
It's
Make a
true.
baby and lose a football game.
it's probably less than a minute. So,
I call a lot of timeouts.
yeah. So
what about you?
What's early?
Yeah.
I typically don't. I'm not a big decoration guy. I only do it because the kids were younger. So, but this year I did promise the wife that I was going to put up some lights. The lights that I don't ever have to take back down again. So it's going to be a one-time thing, like you guys.
I get one of these.
I'll send my friend over there. American flag lights. How about you just do that with drones?
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
have it up.
They've got the flashlight ones, right? I bought a couple of those a couple years ago.
I have the laser show, so I set the laser show on the side of the house. And we have a
Yeah.
Christmas inflatable that goes on the lawn. And I probably want to do something with the lights this year. Maybe hang something on the gutter. If there's an easy way to hang it on the gutter without breaking my neck, then maybe I'll do that this year too.
Yeah.
My favorite part of this whole thing is when we joined the call, Glenn had no idea this was the random topic, and he has a Christmas background right now.
It does.
Out of the three of us, he is in the Christmas spirit.
It was available in Zoom. So what
Not
can I
even
say?
Thanksgiving. You should have a Thanksgiving theme.
Some unlucky stiff is
Yeah, I
in
should.
for a surprise.
But I do
I'm
think
sure- oh.
there's a difference between selling and decorating, right? Selling stuff at the store, I get it, right? If this is the season, you got to get the product out. But decorating your house before Thanksgiving with Christmas stuff is a little early. I
My
don't know about
mom,
you guys.
I'm sorry, my stepmom keeps her Christmas tree up year round, and then she decorates the Christmas tree for Easter, for 4th of July. Like, she just loves the tree.
Yeah.
You could be like my father-in-law, and he just has his lights up all year long because he just doesn't want to take it back down. So
There's one guy in our
HOAs don't
neighborhood.
allow that.
yeah, he's that guy, and I'm amazed that his house doesn't burn down simply because of the wiring being so crispy from being up all year. So
There's one guy in our neighborhood.
That would
he
definitely happen in Arizona.
goes all out for Halloween, and then literally the day after Halloween, he took out all his Halloween decorations and like set up all his Christmas decorations. So he goes all out for that too.
who's got time for that stuff, man? I don't have time for that stuff.
I don't know, that guy does. The other
Chris
question
does.
is,
He's like a part-time worker nowadays.
yeah, where do you store all that stuff too? Like he has like all these like mannequins and figures, and like, where do you keep all that stuff? Like you have a she shed in the backyard that just holds all your decorations.
In the back of his Cybertruck, probably.
That easy.
There's a lot of storage.
All I know is you were like 3 years away from having a permanent like band or like a false screen behind you, like false wallpaper. Because I remember like back in the old place,
Yeah.
yeah, like you had like you were like Chris is the definition of a hoarder. Like I just guarantee it. Like one day this room, like it's beautiful right now, but eventually just start seeing shoes being stacked and more shoes and more, and then all of a sudden the paintings will come off. Are the shoes in the upper right? Yeah, they are, aren't
there.
they?
You can see them right there. Yeah.
Is that all your awards there on the right side? What is that?
Yeah.
That side, that your left hand.
Gotta remember, I'm not
There.
No. What's on the other side?
Right here.
That's
Those are
all about
Starbucks mugs.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's my coffee mug
You
collection.
idiot! You buy Starbucks mugs? Jesus.
It's like I started it. I'm like, oh, I kind of have to keep going now. Although
You are.
You realize
unwell.
there's a lot of locations, right?
I only buy the cups that places I've been to, and now I buy the tiny espresso cups now, so they don't take up that much room anymore. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I bought those shoes? Like those are like shoe boxes, right, for your shoes?
Yeah.
Like a display case. I bought some because I had a bunch of shoes, like the Ultra Boost. I was like, oh, you know what? I think I'll buy these things. And so I bought them, and they came, and they're like, my feet are too big for the box, so like the shoes didn't even fit. They couldn't close.
So you gotta specify.
Yeah.
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 Well, no, it was like one size fits all. Like if you're a midget, like
Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
I'm sorry, LP, little person.
little person. So I got these from Container Store, and they actually have small, medium, large, and it tells you what shoe size for each one. Specifically because of people like you, Brian, that have Shaquille O'Neal size feet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you got large, right, buddy? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh yeah. Gotta get the
Yeah.
large.
Gotta get the large. Large in charge, Chris.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, for us, it's after Thanksgiving. Throw everything up and get the tree up, get the inflatables up, and maybe with this WLED, I'll figure it out and get it up on the house this year too.
Yeah.
Well, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, Brian's up.
I completely forgot to do this. So let me
know,
check my notes real quick.
I warned you in the
As I have to,
last
like-
night.
I know. What the heck?
You
Brian?
did. I was like, oh, I got so many, and then I realized that I haven't opened up my dad joke list here. So
Drum roll, please.
What is WLE?
are you trying to make me panic? All right. Did we ever do this one? Why don't skeletons fight each other?
I don't think so.
Why do what? What?
Do the
Why do
setup again.
Why do skeletons? Yeah. Why do skeletons never fight each other?
And why is that, Brian?
Why is that?
Because they have no guts. Duh.
Well,
I'll give you that one. That was a lot better. Still better than VDL. So.
Yeah. Anything's better than video.
Nice work.
all right, to wrap things up, the Bitfinex hacker got 5 years, and his girlfriend will be sentenced soon. A notorious swatter is finally going to jail. Beware of unsolicited RDP files. 0 days are getting more common, and all I want for Christmas is you. And that's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank all listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars in the iTunes Store and Spotify and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is search for the PEBCAK Podcast in your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host Brian H. Clementina. I'm Chris Lloyd. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. And as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Have a nice day.
Seconds, Alpha.
You're on the side of the angels now.